Welcome back from Labor Day, I hope, and I'm Ira Epstein, and today is Tuesday, and we're at the 7th of September, 2021, and the time about 8:25 in the morning. There's no U.S. economic data of importance due out today. What we are looking, though, at is a market as we're coming back into play here that is coming down. Now, remember, just this past Friday, we had a terrible jobs data report, 235,000 jobs created. Any way you want to look at it, not good. We're looking at energies down a little bit today, and that's a little surprising in the sense that China's exports went up to a record. I mean, they just are surging. I'll show you that data in a minute. I was asking myself, and I put it in my newsletters, and I said, why are interest rates going up on that terrible jobs data? And they're continuing to climb. You're in the 137, 138 range. So instead of 112, the market is going the other way. The stock market falling a little bit. The dollar gaining a lot of strength on this news at the expense of a number of the currencies which are down. Obviously, higher interest rates, an enemy of gold. And the gold market did not hold what it had to in the sense of an embedded slow stochastic reading. Now, the day's young, it could gain it back, but it has to go back up towards those highs in order to get that. And without it, another failure in the gold market. Copper market surprised me with the weakness that it had. It over the weekend had gotten as high as 434.65 and has slipped since then. Remember, you have these strange trading times on weekends when you have these holidays. You get the Globex open, the ICE exchanges aren't, the charts get screwed up because ICE, in their wisdom, they still publish a trade for yesterday, but often on their own website they show the open, high, low, close, all the same price as the close on Friday. I hope they realize how that screws up everybody's charts that gets the feed from them. If not, listen. Grain markets, a mixed bag. Remember, you're going into the heart now where we start the harvest in corn. We'll start getting the yield numbers. It's amazing how the change is happening. I'm even seeing the color changes in my street in Chicago, downtown, which is a surprise. In the Europe, the Eurozone economic data for the quarter, the market was a little bit stronger, and for the year stronger. The Reserve Bank of Australia today left its key interest rate unchanged. We'll hear more about their bond buying, tapering, and so on. It's not going to be very big until COVID's more under control. Japanese economic data, way worse than the market thought. Yet their stock market is up sharply if you're watching the Nikkei, and that's because we're saying goodbye to Prime Minister Suga, which not many people like this man. His COVID policies just didn't work, so we're going to see who's the next Prime Minister. That's why the market is up. There at least. Exports from China, this is stellar. They rose in August 25.6% year over year versus July's gain of an impressive 19.3%, and the market had forecast growth down from July to 17.1%, so that's still very, very important. And Goldman Sachs at the beginning of each month puts out a new prediction what it thinks GDP is going to do, which is great because it gives you an idea what they're seeing, and they're looking for a downward revisionment. You know, this COVID's lasting longer than people thought. We'll see just what goes on. We'll see how these third vaccines shots that some may get, some may not get. It depends on how the supplies come and what the government can do about all that. Now, I'm going to be holding my live webinar tomorrow. That is Wednesday. So if you're interested in asking questions of me, seeing what's going on, what you want to see in stocks, options, futures, this is the place to do it. The ETFs, obviously. I don't cover option trades much, so I really shouldn't have said that. I have found in my career that it's easier to bet as the market going up or down than play with deltas, gammas, betas. I've played with them. And I've learned that most option traders lose money. And that doesn't say that most futures traders don't lose if they don't have a plan. But I find it easier to lose in the option than I do in the futures. It's just a slower death. And I find that the futures, if you can get onto that trend, cut your losses, it goes that way, options are even thinner. That's the thing. But we'll talk about what you want to talk about. What's this last quarter of the year going to show? We're going to get the Santa Claus rally. What do I think of the dollar? What do I think is going to happen with inflation? What are we looking at the different ETFs?